Shalom. Kol Haloyim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Racha Kodash Shanya Kabad Kadwala Rekwab Zakwanyim Nawa Wa Shalayakim Nawa. That's the belongings to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, Wabarakim, Labakarim, Shaliasharala. And that's peace and blessings to the elect of Israel. Just wanted to talk about creating a legacy that you can be proud of. And I use that word create very sparingly or lightly because we know that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai has everything in his control. Everything has already been mapped out, planned out by the Lord, right? But if we're just dumbing down this level of understanding here, and then just speaking from a very carnal standpoint here, or a very fleshly, worldly level, I'll just say, right, your actions that you take right now, the things that you do right now, more specifically, the sacrifice that you're putting up right now, because more than likely, every single one of us listening to this video are in the truth, right? We know our nationality. We know the true names of the Heavenly Father and his Son, and you should be doing his will, right? So the sacrifice that you're putting forth right now on the altar directly relates to your standing in the kingdom of heaven. Not only that, before that, there's a direct correlation to your salvation, right? So do your best right now to create a legacy that you can be proud of. Think about it, in the kingdom of heaven, being a part of 144, Tabernacle of David, or just in general, speaking about other men, women, and children, a part of the elect. There's going to be a ranking system in the kingdom of heaven, just like how there is in Esau's kingdom, just like how there has been in any other rulership by any other nation of people. There's always a ranking. There's always somebody at the bottom, always somebody at the top. Now, don't get it twisted. All Israel is going to be cool. It's going to be chilling. And every single Israelite is going to be far levels above the heathen. But even within our nation, there's going to be levels. There's going to be rankings. The elect member is not going to be on the same level. I'll reword myself. Someone that's a 2/3 on this side in the kingdom of heaven, they're going to be in their right mind, but they're not going to be on the same level as someone that's a part of the elect. Someone that offered up a proper sacrifice on this side, that did the Lord's will, right? That was keeping the laws to the best of your capabilities. That was praying, repenting, ultimately just offering up a proper sacrifice. Now, I'm going to start reading here in the book of Matthew, chapter 19. The point is the very last verse, but I'm going to start at verse 27. Now, as you can see, this subtitle says, the disciples' reward. So verse 27, then answered Peter and said unto him, behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And that's exactly what we're doing. Now, not in a literal sense, because we still have to live our lives. We can't just pack up and go and journey, right, and kick the word. That's why the Lord gave us the internet in these end days. But spiritually and mentally, I'll say mentally, we've forsaken all. We had previous ambitions, previous desires in the world, things that we wanted to do. I'm sure a majority of us had 10, 15, 20-year plans. But we've forsaken all of that crap to say, hey, you know what? Let's offer up a proper sacrifice to receive salvation for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Let's forget about all these things to do the will of the Lord. So we've forsaken all as well, right? And this is the proper question. Nothing is wrong with this. What shall we have therefore? Peter asked a righteous question. Now, verse 28, Yahweh Shai said unto him, or them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And if Israel is going to be on top of the entire world, then what does that mean? If you're judging the 12 tribes of Israel, you're judging the entire world. You're now administrating different tasks. You're setting heathen up. Okay, you're going to be the king here. This is your plot of land. You're giving them resources. Make sure you trade with this other nation. Boom, XYZ, this, that, and the third. We're going to be the top dogs on the planet Earth. That's the 144K. That's what you should be striving to be a part of if you're a man in this truth. Especially if you're a man that's capable physically of going out there on highways and byways. Why do you think we're out there, and I'll use the word religiously, consistently? Why do you think we make these videos on a weekly basis? Once again, consistently. It's to offer up a proper sacrifice to receive what we just read in verse 28. But that's not going to be for many men. It's not going to be for many people. They're not doing the same things that we're doing. They're not offering up that proper sacrifice. Majority of our people are going to be put to death. 2/3 is the majority. Verse 29 says, "And everyone that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life." Now, all Israel is going to be saved. What does that mean? It means that every single Israelite is going to be in the kingdom of heaven. Is going to have those new bodies. Will have the laws written in their minds. Will be perfect, right? But the thing is, how are you getting to the kingdom? That's most important. We want to inherit everlasting life by being delivered on this side and being put in those chariots and being flown over to our land. That's how we want to inherit everlasting life. And then verse 30 says, well, what do we have to do to achieve that? Forsake houses, brethren, sisters, so on and so forth, lands, and whatever goals you had. Now this is the point. Verse 30, "But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first." Now, if we're just talking about the children of Israel right now, who are the first? You got your LeBron James. You got your Floyd Mayweathers. You got your Steph Currys, so on and so forth. You got your Patrick Mahomes. People out here killing it of our nation, making money, living lavishly, luxuriously, right? They're cool. They receive their consolation, meaning they receive their comfort. They're first on this side. They're going to be last in the kingdom. You think they're really offering up a proper sacrifice to the Lord? Hell no. Hell no. They're not repenting for their sins. Guaranteed majority of them, I know some do, majority of them don't even know the proper names. But now us, through the Spirit, that are sacrificing, that are forsaking all, that are doing the will of the Lord, it says the last shall be first. So what legacy are you leaving? Or rather creating? What legacy are you creating? I'll tell you firsthand, I want to be in the kingdom of heaven, hopefully part of the 144, living it up big with the other 144, the other elect members, chilling, visiting different castles, enjoying your family, right? Have an abundance of land. We're not talking about 2-3 acres. We're talking about whatever your heart can imagine right now. So what legacy are you creating for yourself? It begins with your sacrifice right now. Let me jump over now to the book of Daniel. Right? Yeah, Daniel 2. It's Daniel 12, verse 2. Daniel 12, verse 2. "And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt." Let's read that in the NLT. Daniel 12 verse 2 in the NLT. Many of those whose bodies lie dead and buried will rise up, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting disgrace. Now the big bro, the elder, the Ra'ash Zainallah over here in the DC camp always mentions, he says, look, imagine if you were a part of the 2/3, or just imagine one being a part of the 2/3 right now, dying, coming back into the kingdom of heaven. Now you're in your right mind. You're in your right mind. You have the laws written in your inward parts, right? Having to think back and knowing the kind of life that you lived on this side right now. Thinking back to all the sins and the wickedness and evil that you've done on this side right now. That's why it says, and some to shame and everlasting disgrace. And this everlasting here just means for a long period of time. Like as an example, let's say you're going to the MVA, you want to get your, a new license, a new picture, whatever. And you waiting in them long lines. You're like, man, this line is forever, bruh. That's all it's saying here. Just very long. Because they're not going to be in the kingdom of heaven with their heads hanging down forever. But it will be a period of time where they're going to be in shame and disgrace. Like, damn. But what was I doing back there in Babylon, bro? Why was I acting like that? And they're going to be last in the kingdom. I already mentioned a few names, but I mentioned those names, of course, for all of us watching. We know these names, right? We can all relate to these people in terms of just knowing who they are and what they're doing and what they're not doing. All right, our job is to learn from that. Use it as an example. Offer the proper sacrifice. My man Ashba over here in the DC camp, once again, just put up a video, I think, yesterday talking about just going into what kind of sacrifice are you offering up. It's very, very important to think about these things. What kind of sacrifice are you offering up to the Lord? Is he pleased with it? Is he looking down and saying, hey, I'm well pleased to save this man, to save this woman? Let me grab one more precept. I'm going to read the book of Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach, chapter 44, verse 1. It says, let us now praise famous men. I'm going to read all the way down through verse 8. Let us now praise famous men, and our fathers that begat us. The Lord hath wrought great glory by them through his great power from the beginning, such as did bear rule in their kingdoms, men renowned for their power, giving counsel by their understanding and declaring prophecies, leaders of the people by their counsels, and by their knowledge of learning meet for the people, wise and eloquent in their instructions, such as found out musical tunes and recited verses in writing, rich men furnished with ability, living peaceably in their habitations. All these were honored in their generations, and were the glory of their times. There be of them that have left a name behind them, that their praises might be reported. Woo! That's heavy. And I wanted to read straight through without speaking on it, just so as you hear, you can just receive the full depth of what was being stated. And hopefully what you did was you projected your mind in the future and say, hey, I want to be that famous man. I want to be great. I want to leave or have a certain legacy, right, that I'm leaving behind. I want my praises to be reported. I want to be honored in my generation. I'm just going through each verse now, right? But it starts with having this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. It starts with offering up a proper sacrifice. Then everything you're doing now directly relates to the legacy that you're creating for yourself and even, hey, your family, if you have a woman and children in the kingdom of heaven. Right, so I just wanted to speak on that. bring out those few precepts. Hopefully this was edifying to the elect. Call Haloyim Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rachakodash. The belongings to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.